Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Man, it rained hard last night. This creek out here in the park is almost coming up over the where I'm walking. It's crazy. Like I'm used to being able, you can't see it. I can show it to you. I'm used to being able to walk down here and walk all the way around to over where that water is. It's usually dry. That's how much it rained last night. You can see the path that I'm about to walk through here gets a little treacherous, but we got it figured out. This is not the first time we've had to walk through our path being soaked with rain or snow. Rain and snow don't stop the workout, baby. We get after it. How's everybody doing today, by the way? Good afternoon, good morning. This is my Monday morning workout. I'm a little late to getting to it. But we still get the show on the road. How's everybody feeling? How we doing? What can I help you with today? What type of life and business strategy challenges are you facing out there in your life? You guys and ladies always come with great questions, so wanted to open up myself. You got me for about an hour. I'm doing the 3-mile course today. Already did my little, actually that's not technically true. My workout started this morning because I did my little warm-up routine and push-ups and whatnot. Hey Miguel, how you doing, man? I got my push-ups and stuff in the morning, and then I was doing some stuff with my kids, and then finally got here out on the trail this afternoon. And I've got a therapy session coming up here soon too, so I wanted to get this workout out of the way. So how are you guys living? What can I help you with? A lot of the questions I've been getting, I guess it's still technically online because they're on my phone, but they're not on social media. I've been getting a lot of questions from folks lately. Let's see, Ryan says smells like up dog in there. Okay, word, another word I'm gonna have to look up. Just told my parents about my stuff. Uh-oh, hold on YouTube, I'm trying to read that. Just told my parents about my stuff and she's gonna help me move past things. Hey, I'm not sure what that means, Miguel. What stuff? What stuff are we moving past? But that's great. It sounds like, whatever that is, it sounds like it's good news. You're supposed to ask what, I told you I'm too stupid to follow your dumbass riddles, Ryan. See, Ryan is a local genius billionaire who decided to hang out with me, and he pretends to be this kind of humble everyman, but he's a genius billionaire. He's basically Tony Stark. And he says riddles to me all the time that he thinks I'm smart enough to understand because he somehow got it in his head that I'm smart like he is. He's grossly mistaken. Hunter, what's going on, man? Oh, mom's gonna help you. Got it. I'm tracking Miguel. Sorry, I even had to ask, buddy. Good for you. Good for you, man. Way to go. That's one way to get held accountable. Tell your parents. Good stuff, man. Awesome. Let's see, doing computer says looks like Wolverine. Acts like Wolverine too. It's a good assessment, doing computer. So a lot of the questions I've been getting asked as of late have been more on the business strategy side than the life strategy side from the people that I'm connected to. So I figured we could talk in that vein if you all think it would be helpful. But I really just want to open up myself to answer your guys' questions, not really just go on a tirade of things I think may or may not be interesting to talk about. Whew. Here's what the trail looks like from my perspective. There you go. Hunter says, MEPS, steal much from the military? I ain't steal that one from the military. I think MEPS in the military means something different. I can't remember what the acronym means. Isn't that the out processing process or whatever? I've been out of the Army a long time, man. I don't remember a lot of shit. How's the weather? It's gorgeous, man. It was raining all night last night, so you can see the puddles in the creek. The creek is really high, which, interestingly enough, one of the bridges I'm gonna have to cross may be submerged because the way the water looks, like over there, you can see, usually that creek is almost dry down to almost to the point where you can walk through it. and now it's full. These bridges are higher, so the water tends to stay underneath, like you can see right there, but barely, like it's hitting the bridge on that one, right? Usually that water is shallow enough that you can see the ground underneath it. Right now you can't see jack, and it's hitting the bridge. This bridge is quite a bit higher. I don't think I've ever seen that one get submerged. But the two we're getting ready to cross in the park. What's up, Stefan? The two we're getting ready to cross in the park may be submerged. This one probably not, but the second bridge, I'm willing to bet money I'm gonna walk through some water. Medical examination processing station. Got it. Never knew that. But the weather is gorgeous, man. It's warm outside. I wore this hat because I thought it was cold. It actually isn't. But it's good because it'll keep the sweat out of my eyes. People used to think I was weird in the summertime. I'd wear caps like this. Like, B, why are you wearing a cap in the summertime? The same reason you ask dumbass questions that have no reason for being asked. But I'll answer it. It's because it keeps sweat out of my eyes. Ta-da! Yes, I'm hotter, but I'm going to sweat anyway, even without the damn hat. And at least the hat keeps my violent sweating out of my eyeballs. All right, we're gonna have to probably get off the side of the road here. This dude that passed me, I thought he was coming this way, but he went the other way. Med board you're processing out. That's probably the one I'm familiar with. Have I ever seen Bigfoot out there? Nope. Me and Bigfoot have not run into each other. Yo, I gotta get you that phone holder thing. We make it big, dude, because the phone holder thing that I have right now, the one I'm holding, barely holds the phone. So I'm not actually holding my phone. I do have a phone holder here at the park. See, I can just walk prettily, and now everything looks serene. Now I can switch. Here's what I mean by the submerged bridges. And you can see a lot of people were apparently drinking vodka last night because they're vodka bottles. I assume that's vodka. I've never heard of that brand before, so. Not a big connoisseur of different liquors, I guess. Me knowing the names of them would be kind of weird. In my drinking days, I kept it very simple. Stefan says, B, looking forward to having the meet. Yeah. Likewise, man. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys. Did you make it back in town safe, man? I know you were on the road, or you're going to be soon if you haven't left yet. He says, bitch, you are Bigfoot. I don't know, man. I think you're bigger than me. I'm just the size of an NFL linebacker, that's all. I'm not particularly huge, but I'm certainly not small. Can we have a preview for the podcast today? Sure. Really, all today's podcast was a development exercise that I have taken clients through in the past, where I help you evaluate where you are mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And you do the evaluation. I walk you through. Basically, I take myself through the evaluation so you can see how to do it. And then I teach you how to apply that to your life and actually use the tool to make changes in your life that are beneficial to you. So I actually recorded a live stream that I was going to engineer and edit into a podcast. But for whatever reason, the software that I use to record, which is on my iPhone, with TikTok, it creates, like YouTube, it doesn't do it at all, but on TikTok, it creates this horrible echo where you just hear everything I'm saying twice in quick succession. And I am a pretty decent audio engineer compared to most people on earth. I'm certainly not very good when it's compared to the guys who do it for a living, but I can handle my own, and I couldn't clean it up. It just, no amount of me compressing the sound or trying to make it move into a not echoing space, it just didn't work. So I just did a quick recording. I think that podcast last night was about 20 minutes or so. quick recording of going through the MEPS exercise because I thought it would be beneficial to all you guys, that you'd have something, practical that you could do while you're sitting in your car. You could just sit there and think about it and get some benefit out of it. Because, I talk about a lot of philosophical things when I do these talks. But often when I'm coaching, I'll start with the conceptual or the abstract or the big picture, right? Or the philosophy. But I always try to distill it down into actionable things, like things you can actually go do to see some of the changes you want to see, right? And that's really what the podcast is about today. Thank you for listening, by the way, Miguel. $1,800. Okay, cool. Safe travels, man. I'm only 6'1" and wear a size 12. It's pretty big. Okay, y'all don't get too deep. You're back to driving your slaves. Got you, man. Go save the world. Hey, Shannon. What's up, lady? How you doing? Just getting in. Workout before therapy. And then I'm hanging with one of my Navy SEAL brothers a little bit later tonight. So we're having fun, man. How are you? At some point, I may get a YouTube stream with some Death Stranding with you guys this evening. But my day tomorrow is pretty crazy. So I may be taking it easy tonight. I may not be up into the wee hours of the eve because I got to get prepped for some stuff that's going on tomorrow. It's crazy raining here. Excellent. Yeah, the rain was crazy last night, but it helped me sleep. I was thankful for it. I should say this morning, by the time I went to sleep. I've always been a night owl, man. I function better at night. It's why, when I finally got to war, I was like, oh, this is what all my insomnia was about. Thanks, God. You actually did that on purpose. Because one day you knew I'd be here, and I'd have to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning dealing with incoming or, providing that ass whooping. And I'm wide awake in the middle of the night. Especially the night we thought we took gas. Woo! Buttholes were tight that night. Everybody, I don't think anybody slept that night. It was like, all right, I'm up. Whew. After thinking I got gassed to death. And now, that when you, and that maybe this is the crowning event of my life that put me in the state that I'm in. That night, I thought I was dead. I thought it was over. Because I know the type of chemical warfare our enemies use. And my little shitty gas mask wasn't about, if it was real, which thank God it turned out not to be, it was a false alarm. But had it been real, the way we thought it might be, I for real thought, and I had a couple of events like that actually in combat, where, and I don't know, maybe it's a benefit. Man, the freaking traffic's out again today. I got to get back to working out earlier. It's too many dang people. But, that was my wife. That was the lady. She just drove past. That's too cool. Where's she going? She better not be going to see her other man. If you are, tell him to pay some damn mortgage. At least get some money out of this hole. All right, here we go, double time. We got cars coming, so I don't want the last thing you guys see is me getting hit by a car on YouTube. Even though I think it would be hilarious if I died like that. A lot of people would probably be distraught. But, so the night we thought we took a chemical strike. Actually, it happened twice, now that I'm thinking about it. Damn. we thought we got hit with chem more than once. But the was it the first or second time? It might have been the second time. The second time we thought we took chem. Because the first time we were far enough away from it where it was like, all right, we're probably going to be all right even if this is real. The second time, nope, we were in the city. And I remember when we heard gas, gas, gas on the radio, it was just like, fuck, because we were asleep. And we jumped up, mask up, get your gear. Because if we're taking gas, they're probably going to push through and try to clean us all up at some point. So it's like, get ready for as long. Literally in that moment, I accepted the fact that I was dead. It was over. It was like, all right, well, we had a good run. I got to get married. I didn't die a virgin. Great. We're out. Age, I don't remember how old I was. I was in my 20s. Damn it, look at this. All right, how are we going to navigate this, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you how. Sam Porter Bridges style, baby. If there's one thing I learned from Sam Porter Bridges, baby, is there's always a way. Watch this here. Look at me, Sam Porter Bridges. Sam Porter Bridges would be proud. Look at this. Look at what Sam Porter, and if you guys don't know what Sam Porter Bridges is, you have not been watching my streams enough. But there's always a way, Sam Porter Bridges. Yeah. Anyway, so in that night, I thought I was dead. And the weird thing is when you think you're going to die, you don't feel the way you think you're going to, because you would think you'd be terrified. And I was, but there was a part of me that was like, well, I guess that's it. We had a good run. Like your body actually goes into acceptance. It's like I don't know if it's a defense mechanism in your brain because your brain secretly knows when you're going to die. It's like preparing you. And I just was like, all right, well, I was ready to fist bump my platoon sergeant and be like, hey, Smoke, it's been real. Appreciate everything you gave me. It did for me. Which none of that happened. I heard Smoke say, sir, I think I can smell it. And I said, shut up, Smoke. You can't smell nothing. That's how the conversation really happened. In the movies, it would have been much cooler. Like, hey, man, appreciate everything you did for me, King Leonidas. It's an honor to die at your side. It's been an honor to have lived at yours. Like, none of that shit happened. It was two black people screaming at each other in a Humvee thinking they were going to die. The movie always makes it look better than the real thing. But my point is, when I think accepting the fact that I was going to die was actually freeing, because I notice in my life now, especially when I look at social media, the few times I look at it, and I hear what people are saying, and people are scared, man. Everything I see on the internet that is coming out as anger is rooted in fear. And so you got all these people that are angry, Republicans and Democrats, and it's fear. You're dealing with people that have way too high levels of neuroticism, and they can't accept that the world has people that might disagree with their bullshit ideology on either side of the argument, right? As if there's only two sides. That's what's really retarded about it is, Americans have been duped into thinking there's only two sides to this argument. It's like, no, they just fashioned the game to only play a binary option because that'll keep you involved. And it's very easy to get you involved if I can program you with religious bullshit about your party. Anyway, I'm not going to get in the political horseshit. You guys know how I feel. Anyway, I believe that here comes the bridge that should be underwater. Thankfully, it is not. Good. I get to walk with semi-dry shoes today. Anyway, that moment accepting that I was going to die, I think changed me in a lot of good ways. It makes you realize that the shit you worry about in your life on an everyday basis is just stupid. You're dying anyway, right? So instead of focusing on these big ideologies that you can't change because you versus DNA, I'm going to choose DNA every time. And that's honestly what I see humans wrestling with, is they just can't accept, one, their mortality. You're going to die one day. Sorry about that. And two, they can't accept that, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like you haven't accepted your mortality. And as such, your expectation of what a human is just too high. Like, I think most humans haven't read enough of human history to understand that living in these big houses where I live, right, in these nice neighborhoods with parks and stuff, that shit's brand new. That's new, right? And even people complaining about our government, COVID and all this shit. Like, let me remind everybody, all the fear mongering that's going on, that you think the government's trying to control you, and they are. The government exists to coerce your behavior. So no one's arguing that. But before you think it's a grand scheme of the devil trying to shove all your babies into boxes and butt fuck you, let me help you. YouTube, that was just one F-bomb. I get 5 before you ban me. Like, you haven't read enough human history. Like, you don't even have to read that far back. Just go back to Rome. If you didn't pay your taxes under certain emperors, they would burn down your house, maybe with you in it. Like, all the IRS is going to do to us is, hey, man, you might owe us some money. You mind if we check? Hey, yeah, you owe us some money. And we're going to dock it from your pay. Cool? I know you hate it, but it's got to happen. Come on, give me the money. That's the worst that's probably going to happen to you. No one's going to burn down your house. So it's all this fear for what? Because one, you haven't accepted that you're dying. And that's what I think the human brain is trying to wrestle with when we argue and we fight, is what we're really fighting is our fear of our own mortality. And it's because not enough of you have been put in a situation where you thought your life was getting ready to end. Like the day an RPG exploded 10 yards from me and I couldn't get eyes on where it came from. And the only solution we had was to move because they're clearly prepping another shot and they're probably not going to miss this time. Because I was like, smoke trail, smoke, get fucking eyes on. I'm screaming, nobody can see. Sir, we got nothing. Fuck it, run. Because we're going to die. If we stay in this position, they can see us and we can't see them. Because it was just, we were coming around on a highway like an overpass or a loop around where you go from one street onto the highway. And we were coming off the highway and getting into one of the neighborhoods. And we were coming around the loop, the RPG hits the loop. And it's like, and then you're looking out over this vast flatland of just houses. It's like, I don't know I can't see the smoke trail. Where the fuck did that come from? And so we just ran before they got off another shot. But when you think you're going to die and you realize it's over, or you think so, you accept a lot of shit about life and you just figure out, okay, like 99% of the shit that I bother myself about every day is pointless. Really, like fighting with that Democrat at the grocery store because they were wearing a t-shirt that says the future is feminine and you thought that was wrong and you needed to say something to him or her. Just shut the fuck up. Go home and hug your goddamn kids. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you such a scared fucking ape that you can't accept somebody having an ideology that seems like bullshit to you? Let them live. By the way, the future is goddamn feminine. I don't know if you know that. Whether you like it or not, women are taking over shit because men have been goddamn asleep at the wheel, fucking beating off and watching Netflix. So, like, if you fundamentally have a problem with that very feminist statement, remember, if you're a man who's beefing with that, you've been asleep at the wheel. Women are killing you in every category because you're complacent. Now, it's not a competition. We should all be working together. But the fact is, you listen to anybody who's been where I've been in terms of coaching, and they'll all tell you they'd rather work with women than men. And not because of some dumbass attraction bullshit, but because they're just easier to fucking work with. Men are dumb. And it's sad because men don't know they're dumb a lot of times. Not always. Of course, I've worked with men that are assassins. But a lot of times, men have a ton of unconscious incompetence, meaning you're stupid and you don't know you're stupid. Women are very aware of the things they don't know, usually. Right? It's like, hey, boss, I've never shot a weapon before. Mind showing me how to do it? Versus, Tito, who comes in like, man, I played Call of Duty. Let me get that rifle and show you how it's done. Like, okay, knock yourself out, Tito. I don't know why his name's Tito in this example. That's what came to mind. Anyway. So yeah, you realize that a lot of the shit that you bitch about every day means exactly nothing. Zero. It's a waste of your energy to worry about what the liberals or the conservatives are doing because they're doing exactly nothing that's going to have a direct impact on your life, unless you're one of the crazy people who thinks slavery's coming back. I was like, yeah, I'd love to see how that's going to be implemented. This unorganized ass government's going to pull off slavery. Good luck with that shit. Even if they wanted to, it would take them 40 years to roll it out and it would suck. and then they'd have the wrong race. Yeah, if you're afraid of the government, go work there. Your fears will end immediately. Well, you'll still be afraid, but you'll be afraid for very different reasons. You'll be afraid that someone's accidentally going to push a button that fucks shit up. You won't be afraid that they're trying to put you in camps. Just go work there. See how you feel about them camps after that. For all you conspiracy nuts who keep emailing these agencies to ask them where the UFOs are. I may or may not have received an email like that. Once upon a time in a former life. Anyway, there you go. If you think the government's trying to control you, bring slavery back, and put you in internment camps, just go work there. Jenny and I have a surprise for you. I think Jenny already revealed the surprise. She emailed me this morning. Is that what you guys were talking about? Is that what you were talking about? She says she wants to have a meeting with me to go over it with you, which I think is great. By the way, thank you guys for doing that. There you go. Stefan Orth has tasted death. He knows what she smells like. Yeah, just wait until you see it. Sweet. It sounds awesome. I'm really excited, man. I appreciate you guys, or you ladies. I call everybody guys. If anybody has a problem with that, be less of a bitchy person. That's all I can tell you. Because I certainly don't mean the offense that you're taking, so it sounds like the problem is you, if you're offended. Let's see, Dine Tyrell says, all most of us can do is spread info. Oh shit, come on YouTube. We need to do so while we still can. Please at least. Oh shit. I did not delete Tyrell's statement. Why is YouTube saying I deleted your statement, bro? I didn't delete that at all. I wanted to read your statement. YouTube is ridiculous. Whatever you said, Tyrell, I don't know how to say your name. You can feel free to, if I butcher you guys' names, guys, please correct me. I really do want to respect you by saying your name right, but some of you have names that I'm too stupid to pronounce, so do the best I can. Whatever your comment was, I was trying to read it, and then YouTube deleted it and said I deleted it. I did no such thing, but whatever. Jason says, much love, brother, and all you do. Hey, much love to you too, brother. Absolutely. I've almost reported pocket thoughts and soup. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. All right, we're on Soul Crusher Hill, guys. Welcome back. Here, you can do it with me. Now, I don't know how much justice this flat-ass camera does, because if you don't know, selfie cameras are very narrow, or very, is wide the right word? They're the type of lens where it flattens everything, because it doesn't have good zoom. So everything looks flatter, everything looks fatter. It's hard to understand, like, going up the incline. I guess looking down is probably better to see the steepness. Not 100% sure. But anyway, I have you playing in the background. No need to see you. Entertain us. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. Hey, B, currently in the car with my mom listening to you. Sweet. That's cool, man. So anyway, what was I talking about before the hill got me? All right, we're coming to the hardest part of this walk right here. This is where, when I'm doing my hill sprints, this is the hill why I call it Soul Crusher Hill, because you may walk away from this hill not believing in God anymore. Because it's like, why would he put a hill like this here? It's like, no, dumbass, you're the one running up it. Any books you recommend reading right now? I'm about to finish. Tons of books. What do you want to learn? everything looks fatter, so that's your excuse. No, I still look freaking gorgeously sexy. Don't get it twisted. But for you fat people out there, yeah, that's why you look fatter. But yeah, if you use your back camera, it's always going to give you better perspective than your front camera is. Just a little pro tip for you. See, Wyatt's here. What's up, Wyatt? I want more personal development and negotiations. Negotiations. So read the book. If you're specifically looking for negotiations, read the book called Yes by Dr. Robert Cialdini. It's 2 books I want you to read. First, read Influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini. Then read Yes by Robert Cialdini. And there's a second author I can't remember the name of. And Cialdini is spelled C-I, not C-H. C-I-A, Cialdini. Dr. Robert Cialdini. Influence, and then read his book called Yes. And you'll have everything you need. And then throw in How to Win Friends and Influence People. And you'll have everything you need to be a better negotiator. Because you'll understand the psychology of what makes people say yes to you. And more importantly, what makes people like you, which is what makes them say yes to you. What I used to tell people in job interviews all the time is be likable. 75% of you getting hired is whether or not this person likes you immediately. And that's hard to do. Like, it can be hard to get someone to like you quickly, especially if you have very different personalities, right? When I first came out of the Army, before I went to run, in fact, when I started that job, it wasn't a billionaire who owned the company. It was actually an investment fund that I used to work for. Then a billionaire bought it, and then he was my boss, and it was running his company, right? Anyway, before I took that job, I interviewed at AOL, and the dude, first of all, was a prick. And it like, one thing I can't stand is socially insecure leaders, right? Because when I come in a room, they can't deal with me because it's like, well, I can't, because insecure leaders lead through control. As long as they can control everything, they're happy. When I walk in a room, it's like, well, you're not controlling me because I'll fucking cave your chest in. Fuck you. Right? That's kind of the demeanor that I have. Now, I'm not in the business of caving nobody's chest in. I'm just saying that's how I've had bosses in my past tell me that, like, yo, I didn't correct you on this project because I thought you would probably whip my ass. Like, what the fuck planet are you on? People whooping your ass because you're being a boss? Like, what episode of freaking Jersey Shore do you think this is? Anyway, developing that level of respect, trust, and rapport that quickly can be hard, especially when you have different personalities. So when you understand the techniques of communication that are in those books, you can very, very quickly develop rapport and trust with people. Like, every person I've ever hired, I gave 2 shits about what was on their resume. In fact, I think I've only looked at, out of all the people I've hired in my life, if I spent more than 18 seconds looking at a resume, it was 18 seconds too long. Because I don't care about that resume. I need to talk to you. And I've hired so many people that on paper were underqualified because they had some other intangible quality that I could tap into, and then I could make them into an assassin at whatever thing they were underqualified in. Like when I hired Tony now he's kind of a mercenary for me, but at first he was my video editor. And it's like, okay, bet. I need you to edit these videos. Are you familiar with Adobe Premiere? He said no. I said, okay, he doesn't even know the software. But I know he edits videos, and I know his work ethic because I've coached him for 2 years. He'll figure it out because he's getting videos edited every week on YouTube. He's figuring out a way to do it. He just doesn't use the tools that make it easier. So he's probably even better than he thinks. So I hipped him to the tools. He started learning to use them. Within a month, he was leaps and bounds a better video editor than I could ever hope to be. But when he started, he didn't even know how to use Adobe Premiere, right? That's the type of things, especially when you guys start building your companies and you're looking to hire people. That's the type of qualities you need to look for. I don't care. Like, unless I need someone to do something very specific that requires 20 years of training. Like, I need somebody that understands machine learning at a PhD level. Okay, I'll hire the Carnegie Mellon guy for whatever that project is. But if it's just like getting mundane shit done, like video editing or audio engineering, shit you can learn in an hour on YouTube, which is how I learned it. In fact, I didn't even have YouTube when I got started. I was just on the internet reading how to edit and audio, because I engineered and mixed and mastered my album. It sucked, but it was an album. It wasn't not an album. It wasn't great because my skills at the time weren't that good. And I didn't ask for any outside help. I needed to do it on my own. It was a project that I had to get off my chest, and I couldn't let anybody in because it was mine, and it tainted if I let somebody else in. I needed to get it out, right? So, those are the types of things. But yeah, like in terms of jobs and shit, your resume to me is a waste of time. But that's me. I don't hire people based on resumes. Look at this. He went to I don't care where he went to college. What you're telling me is he's wasted a lot of money getting drunk and banging chicks. Got it. And if he's a super nerd, take out the banging chicks part. It's fine. He wasted a lot of money doing shit he probably could have learned on the internet. Got it. Thank you. Now he's in debt, and he has to have a job to pay off the debt that he just... Never mind. Save my preaching for myself. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Morning, Dana. Morning, Pistachio. Ulterior Motif says, what's the best job for me when I don't like to work? I want to wake up at noon and earn $60K a year. Own a business. It's the only way to do that. And I didn't say run a business, you need to own one. So you need to build something that you can hand off to somebody else and then collect your part of the money. That's all. I have to do a Zoom meeting. All right, take it easy, Nick. Good to see you, brother. Would you recommend The Art of the Deal? I haven't read that one yet. I've heard from other people that read it that it's pretty good. Now, I've also been coached by one of Trump's mentors back in the day. I know that's going to make me sound like, oh, I'm not a Trump. He didn't even want to vote for Trump. That helps you. Trump's own mentor, the guy that mentored him, resigned from his company the minute he announced he was running for president and wasn't even sure he was going to vote for his own friend. All right, so has nothing to do with supporting that guy. Everybody calm down and go back to your dumbass religious corners. But what was I saying? Even his mentor taught me a little bit about how Trump did deals, and Trump oftentimes, he was saying, wasn't a stickler on deals. He would just, as long as he was making a profit, he wouldn't get knee deep in the weeds. Now, that wasn't always true, because my mentor, my direct mentor, the guy I told you who invented cell phones, and I wasn't bullshitting about that. I'll play you guys the video. Now, he's the guy who invented cell phones and didn't make any money from it because other people took his ideas and, well, now we have cell phones. Anyway, he and one of his buddies, one of his billionaire buddies that's now passed, God rest his soul, another guy that's kind of like was an indirect mentor to me for a short time. They were in a deal with Trump like back in the 80s, I think, 80s or 90s, and it went very poorly, and Trump fucked all of them very badly. And so yeah, there are times where Trump did shitty stuff, but I have heard that the book's okay. I haven't read it, is the point. But I'm just saying, what I know of how he does deals, he's kind of like the same way he was the president. He's fucking bipolar. One minute he's trying to do the right thing and say decent shit. The next minute he's an 8-year-old child screaming at wrestlers on Twitter. It's kind of it's kind of how I've heard his business tactics were. Sometimes it's hands off, let his people do their job and get out of their way and be a good leader. Other times he's, George, the guy that was coaching me that day, had to tell Trump, like, shut the fuck up and sit down. You dumbass. So, much like all humans, he is supremely flawed, and I imagine the book is too. Much like all the books we've written. What do you think about partners in business? They're essential. Good question. Let's see, Pistachio said cocaine and hookers. Is that particularly fun? A lot of people talk about cocaine and hookers like it was amazing. I didn't live in that era. I'm too young to have gone through the cocaine and hookers era, because wasn't that the 80s? I would have been a baby. So there's no cocaine and hookers in my experience. But I hear about it a lot. And the most I heard about it was I was on a yacht a couple years back. And like go on yacht tours and just listen to yacht drivers, dude. They're almost like strippers in terms of the shit they know. I've heard, I've never met. I know strippers, but I've never been to a strip club. But strippers know shit. Let's just say that. That's all I'm gonna say. I happen to know some who also do other things besides stripping, and yes, they are very well connected and they know a lot of things. Now, it's not because I'm consuming strippers and hookers, guys, calm down. I just have lived a life where I've been exposed to a lot of different types of people, and I'm not a judgmental prick, so people are willing to talk to me. You know, I come across as an asshole and sometimes condescending, even though I don't mean to be. It's just my tone. I'm working on it. But I'm not a prick. I'm not a judgmental dude. Like, if you're hooking, it's your business. It ain't got shit to do with me. And I'm not going to judge you for how you feed yourself and your family. Certainly, I would, if I was in your life, I might say, hey, there's a better way. Maybe I can help you build a business. Like, let me help you. But if you're hooking and you're enjoying it, hook on. But yeah, like, this dude knew everything. And he was telling me these stories because he's driving yachts for billionaires. That's what I'm getting at. And he was just telling me how cool the billionaires he worked with were, but their kids all sucked. I was like, well, that makes sense. You got the king of a small country out here who worked his ass off to become that, usually. You know, obviously they're trust fund babies and people that have wealth just because their parents were wealthy. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about the guys that actually put blood, sweat, and tears in to become something. And certainly they had help. We all have help to some degree. But, you know, he was always like, those guys are the best. He's like, their kids are pricks. I was like, well, it makes sense because he's worked to build this empire and his kids are just getting to live as princes and they haven't gone through any of the struggle that dad had to go through or mom had to go through to be this billionaire. So, of course, the kids are fucking bitches. Like, that's exactly what they should be. Okay, Typical Iowan, thanks for the recommendation. Jason has had his share of cocaine, but no hookers. Never had cocaine. Heard about it. Never had heroin, never had cocaine, never had acid. I think I missed a lot. I think I missed a lot of shit in my 20s, but that's because in my, 20s, I was in the Army, so. The time where everybody, I think, gets into that shit, I was running around hunting people, so I didn't get to partake in the cocaine, acid, heroin fest that I think everybody else gets to taste. Well, maybe not everybody. I know certainly my whole family is military, so not a lot of drugs in my upbringing. I've considered doing DMT. I've heard a lot about it, like doing it with a person, like a doctor who can guide you through it. Consider it. I've been talking to my therapist about doing that. It might be interesting. Something to try out. I'm just afraid that actually at this stage of my life, I'm not so much afraid of what I'm going to see, because I think nowadays me could handle Freddy Krueger showing up, because I just have a conversation with him like, hey, Fred, let's talk, man. You terrorized me for a lot of years, because I grew up in the 80s and 90s when parents didn't give a shit what their kids did, and I saw Freddy Krueger way too at an early age. So, and I'm not, insane like other people who can watch that shit and it doesn't affect them. But let's talk, man. What do you want to tell me? Because you're here for a reason. You'd be like, listen, man, I was just partying. And then I get to find out I'm really him. And then that's why he's there. Like, oh, of course. My dark side. Has to be Fred Krueger. Of course it does. Don't think the world could handle my brain on LSD or coke. Probably not. Bryant's drug was two worlds. Hell yeah. Whoo. I'm thinking about playing that again. Love that game, man. Our brains are messed up in their own way. I guess so. I don't necessarily feel like I missed anything. Like, I didn't get to do coke. I also just have an aversion to shooting shit that's uncomfortable up my nose. Like, I've had a COVID test. I can only imagine doing coke. It's painful like that. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. Are we even supposed to be talking about this on YouTube? Is this video going to get taken down because I even had the discussion with adults? Probably. I don't really care. It's really, the conversation is more for you guys that are here live anyway, so no need to worry about it. Goes with my 3 F-bombs. Okay, so I'll go ahead and change the subject so that I don't have to have everything get blocked and banned. Naked yoga is still okay by YouTube. Really? There's people who do naked, there's nudity on YouTube? Man, I am out of touch. Can I be nude on YouTube? How do I get one of those channels? I'm just gonna be naked all the goddamn time. I'm gonna be the naked philosopher. And that'll be my hook. 1 billion views. Start collecting checks from Google. And all I had to do was get naked. Imagine that. The Brian Chambers naked movement. As long as you're doing yoga. I could probably do some yoga. The naked movement. There we go. Shit, we could do live streams where we're all naked. Right, that would probably get silly really quick because YouTube would be like, the kids! Like, they'll be all right. Stop trying to keep everybody fragile, advertisers. I'm not even going to blame the social media platforms because they're just the bitches in this equation to the advertising companies. If you want to be mad at somebody for censorship, be mad at ad agencies, not social media platforms. Social media platforms are a player in the game just the way you are. The owners are Unilever. Shoo. He says Brian swinging D Chambers drive through life coaching and naked yoga. I can see that. All right, showtime. Hopefully I won't get hit by a car. I usually sprint at least to the top of this hill, but YouTube was tripping while I was running, so I stopped. Whew. All right. Any other? Let's see what we got here. Shannon says, I am a mom in a house with 2 girls, and they are always in the damn bathroom. In my bathroom, no privacy. Hey, mom. Hey, don't feel bad. Boys do it too. They don't do it to me because I find that I watch my wife struggle with the kids because she's just not willing to be an asshole. I'm like, kids don't fucking bother me. She's like, well, that's because they're scared of you. Exactly. That's why they don't come in the bathroom when I'm in there, because they know I'll throw something at them. Like, be an asshole, and they'll leave you alone. Because you can still love them and hug them and kiss them. I do all that too. Hey, I was just talking about you and your lack of assholery.
My lack of assholery?
Yeah, so Shannon was talking about how her daughters are always in the bathroom with her. And I said, our boys do that to you all the time too. But they do it because you won't be an asshole to them. They never come in the bathroom with me. And it was just perfect that you drove up while I was having that part of the Are you heading home?
I looked for you in
I'll
the
get in.
neighborhood.
Word up. I get to do the last, quarter mile in the car.
Yep. You had a good walk? Good exercise?
Yeah, it was good. Good. A lot of people here on the stream.
Hey,
Sam and Ryan just said, hey, Miko.
Hey, everybody. Looks like we're going to get it home just in time before the storm.
Is it gonna? Where'd you head out to? I got downstairs. I was finishing my warm-up of the workout. The kid said you had bounced. Christopher was already done with school, it looked like.
Yeah, he was finished.
Finished early?
Finished before I left.
Okay.
I went back to Big Lots to get the rest of the ribbon because I guess I only bought one.
Got you.
And I ran out when I was putting it on the tree. So I do want to talk to you when you're done streaming.
Okay, well, stream. My wife needs to talk to me, so I got to go. I love you guys.
I'm trying to kidnap
I'll see you a little bit later. Peace.